thousands of students, including right here in Arizona, are expected to strike on Friday. They want to send a message to state and federal lawmakers that say they need policies to address this climate change.
All of this is happening ahead of the United Nations 2019 Climate Summit in New York City next week. Cronkite News reporter Jordan Evans recently went to a summit of young climate activists. And Jordan, what did you learn?
So Matthew, back in 2012, former U.S. President Barack Obama gave a speech in which he said, quote, "We want our children to live in a world without the destructive power of a warming planet." Earlier this month, more than 180 students, ranging from middle school to college undergraduates, came together for this summit. They're all worried about what a warming world could mean for them and future generations.
Being a sustainability student, I'm interested still in supporting environmental advocacy and sustainability policy.
This is the world they're inheriting, and they have, therefore, an extra right to be concerned, to speak out, and to ask for solutions.
ASU professor of history and sustainability Paul Hurt gave the keynote speech at this year's Arizona Youth Climate Summit. He says a lot of the solutions to help curb climate change will have to take place in the policy arena.
Political engagement is complicated and slow-moving and difficult. And in a lot of ways, the status quo has a lot of inertia, and it's difficult to come up with new policies to change the way we do things.
Hurt also told me in the last 2 years, he has noticed more students getting involved in climate activism. Part of it was a new president, then there was the March for Science in 2017. And now more recently, many of these same young climate activists protested outside of the Arizona state capitol in March to get the attention of lawmakers for the first time. This month's summit provided an opportunity for students to engage with elected officials again. However, this time, the students asked the state legislators the questions.
We're here to do our best to kind of hold elected officials accountable as well, because we like to think that we are, really uplifting other voices and making sure that opinions that normally wouldn't be expressed are expressed.
So I want them to acknowledge that no member of society is powerless. I know a lot of people who say, you guys are just teens, you're so cute. I love how hard you're working, but I think we can actually affect actual change.
And the change that these Arizona students are pushing for is the same change that Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg is pushing. The 16-year-old recently traveled to New York City by sailboat to reduce her own carbon footprint, all for the upcoming United Nations Climate Summit next week. And for ASU student Jackson SCHIEFELBEIN, getting youth to collaborate with lawmakers to make change for the climate is something he knows well.
Back when I was in high school, I created a youth activist platform in Ohio, where I'm from, and I'm glad to be able to support other students here in Arizona doing the same thing.
I think the key thing is to get organized and educated and come up with stories to tell about how climate change is affecting us all and what the challenges are for mitigating climate change in the future. Get people to focus on the next 2 or 3 or 4 generations that are really going to have to deal with the consequences of decisions that we make today.
Friday, these students will march from Phoenix City Council to the Arizona State Capitol to bring their concerns about climate to Arizona lawmakers.